Liftoff and the clock has started.
Go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi Showbie with me, the lovely Richard Vobes, and you, the lovely... Wait a minute. She's over there getting made up. The lovely Julia is here. She's in the building. She's just slapping some slap, you know. Yes, there we are. She's just doing the necessary. You know what women are like. Not happy, that's the wrong word. Commemorations too? No, that's it. It's the Battle of Britain Day, ladies and gentlemen, the 15th of September, the height of the Battle of Britain in 1940, 81 years ago today. And we salute all of those people who fought on the front line, the home counties particularly, who were there and fighting for our lives when Nazi Germany was trying to take us out. And what an amazing thing. And I wish only that in the battles that we have in our current days, we had the same spirit, all for one, to get rid of one foe, instead of having this split society that we have. But there we are. It is the Battle of Britain Day. I want to know all your stories. If you were one of the pilots flying the Spitfires and Hurricanes, if you were in the factories in munitions, there's probably none of you left, actually, to be honest with you. There's probably only a very few people, and none of you watch the show. But you are heroes. You are heroes, and you mustn't be forgotten. Yes, Battle of Britain. If you are somebody who knows about the Battle of Britain, wants to talk about the Battle of Britain, if it's your pet subject, I'd love you to call in and tell us about it in today's show. It is the Battle of Britain Day, and it's only right because I'm interested in that period of time. I wanted last year, and thanks to COVID coming along, last year to do a whole series about the Battle of Britain because it would have been 80 years since it happened. And I'd have to wait another 20 years for the 100th centenary of it, and I may be hopefully still around, but maybe too shaky, even with modern stabilisation, to hold the camera. 0793 4746 790 is the number, and we will be doing the roll call very soon. The lovely Julia is just getting herself made up. I hope you're all well. Thank you very much for coming. Are you one of the lucky people who got stuck on the M25 today when Extinction Rebellion decided to basically sit down in protest and complain that the government are not doing enough to turn the climate change taps off? Or are you somebody who is infuriated by the Extinction Rebellion people for doing such a thing? Or are you on their side? Should we shake up the world? I'd like to know. 0793 4746 790 is the number. Give us a call and vent your fury. I personally don't think that that is the way to get the communication across. Whether you believe in climate change and think that we've only got a few years left, or whether you think the measures are right, I just don't think that their methods of doing it is the way to convince people. Because to me, if you piss people off, the actual people that you want to conserve and recycle and do all these things, then I think they're more likely to think that you're a bunch of loonies and do the complete opposite. I know I would. So is the way that Extinction Rebellion operate actually a good way, or should they use just the normal old-fashioned techniques of persuasion by discussion, polite discussion, telling us about things so that we can actually see their point of view and weigh the balance? What do you think? 0793 4746 790. Give us a call. Love to hear your views. People are coming into the chat room. It's lovely to see you. I gather that I just saw Kate Evans out there. Hello, Kate. Sorry to hear that you've got to go back into hospital again because of your stomach. It seems that I know a number of people who have a number of issues, and three of them that recently have come to me, not come to me, but come to my attention, as it were, who have gut-related issues, that they have things. My daughter being one of them. She has, how do you pronounce the thing that she has? Psoriasis. She has psoriasis on her skin, and it comes on her legs mainly, I think. She's in New Zealand, and she's tried all the doctor's medication and bits and bobs like that, and it hasn't worked. So she's decided to do a little bit of self-medication and a bit of research for herself, and she's set up a blog. I'm very proud of her, and she's worked out that actually it's down to her diet. And I did get in touch with lovely Kate Murden, the herbalist. Kate Evans is the name that was rattling through my head then. Kim, the lovely Kim Murden, who is a herbalist, and actually we're hoping to get together in a couple of weeks' time, which would be fantastic. She does, I have to tell you, the most delicious stews. We've been around Kim's house and had some stews, the lovely Julia and I, and absolutely delicious. But she knows everything to do with herbs and herbal medicine and remedies. She's a professional in that field. And I'm afraid, I did tap her. I said, look, what should my daughter be looking at? Is there anything in the way of herbs? And she gave me a couple of suggestions, which I've passed on. Now, of course, I don't want to, take away any of Kim's professional income by doing that. But she did say that she'd be happy to take Georgie on as a remote client and advisor. So I've passed that information on, which is fantastic. And I don't know, again, if... Kate, I don't know your issue, but if you're having to go back to the hospital, it sounds, and it's to do with your stomach, it may be something that the lovely Kim can deal with, and I'm happy to pass on her details. And obviously, you discuss how you do things, and on a professional basis. I'm not asking Kim to do any favors, but I don't know any other herbalists, you see. So but I do think that these natural remedies work a lot better than medication. Medication, that's what you need if you want to be the... No, not medication. So that's... And because one of the things that Kim said, in order for psoriasis, she said, yes, get rid of sugar. Sugar is the killer for that. It's one of the big things which causes a lot of problems. So if anybody suffers with that, try and get... I mean, getting rid of sugar anyway is a good thing, and I've reduced mine really right smally. Does that make English? No. Really right smally. I have. It's really right smally. So there you go. But I don't know if that's any good. It's nice to see so many people here tonight. We've got 69 of you. 76 concurrent, 77 now, which is brilliant. If you enjoy the show, do give us a thumbs up if you can. It really does tell YouTube that this is a show worth exploring. We have a phone call. Let's find out who that is. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Good evening. It's young Ray from Horsham here.
Hello, young Ray from Horsham. Lovely to hear from you.
I was just listening to your comments about the Second World War and the Battle of Britain.
Yes.
A couple of things that annoy me is when people talk about the war, and it's always, the Nazis were doing this, or the Nazis are doing that. It was actually the Germans were doing this, and the Germans were doing that.
Yes.
I mean,
so is it wrong? Is it wrong to say Nazi Germany?
No, it's wrong. Well, yes and no. It's like saying, it's the Conservatives caused this war, or it's the Labour Party caused this war. The Nazi Party were the officially and legally elected government of Germany in the 1930s, and Germany was the country which attacked Poland and other countries in 1939 and 1940. It wasn't the Nazi Party; it was Germany that did that.
So would you say? But would you say, Ray? And I'm here to be educated. But would you say that it is the English who are locking people down during COVID, or would you say it was the government, the Conservative government?
It was the officially elected government of the country,
right? Which was the Nazi Party.
Well, it was
in the Second World War, but the Conservative Party in the in current times.
But it's still the legally elected government, any more than it was Donald Trump as the legally elected president of the US, or Biden as the legally elected president, and so on.
But I suppose where I'm going is that the people who are making the decisions to do that, who are giving the orders, are not the German people. I mean, they are German by...
They are their representatives.
Yes, who were the Nazis. The Nazi Party.
At that time, was that party, yes.
Yes.
Which is no different from a Conservative Party or a Labour Party or a Liberal Party or a UKIP Party or anything else.
Yes.
It's whatever is elected as the government of the day.
But not all Germans were, from what I understand, not all Germans were up for the war.
No, of course not.
No.
And not all Conservatives are up for the Tory Party either.
Right.
Today.
Yes, that's very true.
Different. It's no different.
No. But right? I suppose people do label the Nazis, and maybe wrongly, because they think of them as being a body of people who were hell bent on invading and taking over and increasing their empire and their influence in the world, as opposed to Germany as a country which includes everybody.
Well, I mean, you can only deal with the government of the day.
Yes.
I mean, I've worked at an international company. I know a lot of Germans, and there are many French people and so on. They're quite normal people. But at the end of the day, their government did represent their country and did what they did in those days.
Yes.
And do what they do today. You may not agree with Angela Merkel today. A lot of people don't.
No.
But she's the officially elected government or head of state of Germany at the moment.
Yes.
As is Macron of France and so on, as is Johnson of the UK. I don't agree with what Boris Johnson is doing.
No.
In many respects. although I'm a Conservative Party voter, but I don't necessarily agree with Boris Johnson.
Right.
But he is, unfortunately, the
He's the Prime
officially
Minister.
elected
Yes.
Prime Minister of this country.
So you're. I mean, I'm just going back to your original comment that you get fed up when people say Nazis. I mean, I said that Nazi Germany, trying to.
Well, that's fair. No, that's fair enough.
All right,
That's fair enough.
I'm off the hook.
No, you are, but many people say, and you can see it on many resumes of the Second World War. The Nazis did that, the Nazis did the other.
Yes,
it was Germany that did that.
So yes, no,
it wasn't some mysterious alien organisation called the Nazis. It was Germany that did it.
So how do you square the circle? Not square the circle, but how do you feel when these days you can do things, and if you're a little bit, say, if you're bordering on the fascist side of things, and you're called a Nazi, what do they mean by that then? Because are they saying, oh, you're a member of a particular political party, or are they just slurring you with a word that they misunderstood?
Well, I don't consider myself that, but I mean,
no, I'm not.
Now, I see people who call somebody a Nazi would say that they're an extreme, in the Nazi case, an extreme right-wing political organisation, as is the communists an extreme left-wing organisation.
Yes.
Right? But to many respects, the extremities, left or right, effectively are the same thing. You end up being a single state run by one person. That's what you end up. A dictatorship, whether it's left or right. That's what the extremists end up doing.
Yes, absolutely. And nobody really wants to be on those edges. Although people get pushed to that, I suppose.
They do. But Adolf Hitler was democratically elected.
Yes, which is incredible, isn't it? When we imagine that what he went on to do, that the Germans did elect somebody who, a few years down the line, decided he was going to do what he did.
Yes.
And yet, because we could say the same with someone like Johnson, that nobody expected him to lock people up in their houses during a pandemic.
Well, I don't accept any extremism. I mean, you touched on Extinction Rebellion, and people, to me, they are extremists that need to be sorted out. Blocking the M25 is unacceptable.
Yes.
And as I understand it, some people today were killed in a road accident caused by the traffic jam that these people had caused in the first place. Now, to me, these Extinction Rebellion people, it's Insulation Rebellion, whatever they call themselves, they should be taken to court for manslaughter. They have caused a major traffic disaster, and people have died because of it.
Yes.
It's unacceptable.
Absolutely
it's unacceptable.
No, I completely agree.
It's not acceptable.
Yes, no, I am absolutely in agreement. I mean, it's just not acceptable to block. People are going to hospital or trying to, or catch an maybe not so many flights these days, but they're, and people are just trying to earn a living. And they're being told, well, if you don't come in, you're 5 hours late, so therefore we're not paying you 5 hours. I
have to say, if I was at the front of that queue on the M25, I'd have just driven through the bastards.
Yeah.
I would not stop them. I'd have just driven through them.
Yeah.
I could not accept that. They are being bloody stupid.
And to be honest with you, I'm surprised though that people give them the time of day, that they did just line up. I saw a picture of it it came up on, not social media because I don't use it, but on YouTube, and there was a picture on a thumbnail of these people blocking the M25, and I thought, if I was like you, I would have why hadn't the public just not bothered to, as they were trying to set up, I would have just weaved past, and surely other people would have weaved past. And,
yes.
If people kept going, they wouldn't have been able to get on the road.
Right.
But they probably went when everybody was parked anyway.
Apparently, a couple of them glued themselves to the road surface. Well, I'll tell you what, I'd have got a spade out and just shoved it under their hand to and cut their hand off. Not cut their
Well,
hand
that's a
off,
little
yeah.
extreme
No,
yourself, Ray, if I may
No.
say so. But I take your point.
Yes.
But we
I mean-
seem to do. I mean, this is the problem I found with this day and age at the moment. We seem to tolerate all of it, like with the statues, knocking down statues. All right, if people democratically say we don't want that statue, and enough people support that, then that's fine. It's a democratic country. But if people just decide, you know what, we don't like it, we're going to topple it, we'll throw it into the harbour, come what may, it doesn't really matter. That, and then the police stand by and go, yeah, we'll just let that happen. That to me, it's not a country I want to live in.
Well, the example is already there. We've discussed it. If you tolerate extremism, you get Adolf Hitler.
Yes.
And the German people are not extreme. The German people are not nasty, but the German people accepted and tolerated the Nazi Party in the 1930s, and they got a war and death for millions of people.
Yes.
Right? So if you accept extremism, you'll get extremism.
Absolutely.
So you won't have to stop it. Common sense must prevail.
It must.
And common sense did not prevail in Germany in the 1930s. Common sense wasn't prevailing on the M25 today.
No, exactly.
Anyway,
and it's just so hard to, I mean, we're 81 years away from the Battle of Britain, and you almost time can sort of make, well, that was a different time, and maybe common sense wasn't as wise as it is today. And yet, as you say, here we are, and it's almost as if you may as well not have had common sense, because we're doing things which blatantly are not right, and yet somehow we're going, yeah, no, it's perfectly all right to block the M25 because we're worried about something that may or may not happen, and there's such a big debate about whether it's really a thing or not. If we could have absolute proof, there's the tornado, it's coming to us, it's wiping out everything, stop the traffic, that'll stop it, then yeah, okay, cool. But it's such a wishy-washy debate. Let's have the debate, let's not stop the traffic.
Yes.
Ray, it's very nice of you to ring up. Are you working on a lovely piece of music for our next show?
No. Well, I need some ideas.
You need some inspiration.
But just one before I go.
Yeah.
You mentioned psoriasis.
Yes.
I actually had that on my knees and elbows when I was at work, and the doctor said it's because you're under stress. I thought, well, I'm not really under stress. I was quite comfortable in work. But once it's funny. Within 3 weeks of retiring, it went away.
Really? So there might be something in it then.
Absolutely. So your relative that's got it.
Yeah, my daughter.
Is actually under some sort of stress, and I didn't think I was under stress, and she probably doesn't think she's under stress. But if that whatever it is that's stressing her goes away, the psoriasis goes away as well. It's quite amazing.
Do you think that's a problem of modern day?
Probably is. Is. I didn't think I was stressed up.
No.
But clearly, once I retired and relaxed, it went away. Almost just cleared up. Anyway, it's nice to talk to you, Richard.
It's lovely to talk to you, Ray.
I need some ideas for some music because I'm running out now.
If anybody out there has got some suggestions, shove them in the chat, and
I'll do some requests. Yes.
Yeah, do some requests, and we'll see what Ray comes up with. It's always a joy, Ray. Thank you so much for giving us a call.
Yeah. Sorry for being a bit political there.
No. I think I get a buzz on it myself. So I know not everybody likes it, but occasionally it's just nice to vent a bit.
Good luck to all, and good night, and love you all.
Yeah,
Cheers.
Take care, Ray. All the best. There we go. That's the lovely Ray from Horsham, Ray of Hope. And he's given us a ray of hope because the lovely Julia is now here in the building. Let's go and find the lovely Julia and see if she is with us. It looks like she is. Hello, lovely Julia. Oh, hang on. Let me turn your microphone up. It always helps to turn
my mic up.
Turn the mic up. Yeah, there we go. I think we can hear you now.
Been in the building the whole time.
Yes, I know you've been in the building. What I meant was you've been in the studio area. I mean, there's
I'm in the stewed.
In the
As
stew.
Richard says.
Yeah, there is actually a mirror just by the door here in this luxury studio here on the first floor productions, and Julia was actually there, so she heard everything that's been going on.
Except for the phone call. But
Except
I did
because
catch
she
the
didn't have the
last bit of
headphones
phone
on,
call,
yeah. So,
I've been looking at the chats here.
Yes.
Because this one on the screen in front of me wasn't put to live chat.
Oh,
straight
I'm
away,
so sorry.
So I've missed the first chunk and stuff, and actually I can already see that there's people missing because people have been talking to the lovely Rich and Fran from Floating Our Boat.
Ah, they out there. I haven't really
But I
paid
haven't
much attention.
seen any comment from them. So
Oh, fair enough.
I'm assuming they have commented if people know they're there.
Yeah, we had a message earlier from the lovely Fran, and if they're out there, oh yeah, Floating Out. Just so you know, Rich from Floating Your Boat, our art list. I get my music from artlist.io, I think it is. Brilliant. It's like you what's the one you use? Europhonics? Europa? No, not Europa. Used to do this thing with a friend of mine who ran a clown outfit, and they used to call themselves the Europa Clowns. And one day I was working with him, and he said, "Oh, can you go at the front and just promote and get some kids into the Europa Clowns?" So Nigel, my friend from Snug and Cozy, and we were there doing Europa Clown. We were going, "Come and see the ropey old clowns, come and see ropey old clowns." And he came out, oh, Michael, he came out and he says, "No, Richard, it's Europa Clowns." And I said, "Yeah, I know, it's a joke." Come and see Europa Clowns. Come and see the lovely... Anyway, so I can't... Euphoria? Is it Euphoria music? I think it's Euphoria music that you use. But I use Artlist. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant. Anyway, just thought I'd mention it. This production music library information just to one person. I've used the platform to talk to one person. Now I'm going to talk to another person, the lovely Julia.
Epidemic music.
Oh, Epidemic. Epidemic. Yes, that's right. I knew it was something like Euphoria. It began with an E. What more do you want? What more do you want?
That's the only.
It's an outrage.
Floating Our Boat says epidemic too.
Yes, that they would know. So
they would know.
Yes. So I'm just going to move the microphone a bit closer.
Hooray then.
Just gives it a better sound because we don't have. I need to get some duvets in here on the walls.
Or duvet, as my eldest used to call
Duvet?
them. Duvet.
Duvet?
Let's come and pull your duvet up. What, my duvet, mummy? Yes, your duvet.
So, we better do the roll call, hadn't we? Because there's lots of people here. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time once again for the roll call.
That might be too much.
What was that?
That was me trying to do a roll call sound on here,
fantastic.
but that might have been too much.
Yeah, it might have been.
Sorry.
I didn't hear it. Anyway, over to you, lovely Julia.
Right, well, as I said, I'm going to miss a few names here because they don't show up, all of them. It's just really frustrating. I want to include you all. But,
And that's my fault because I set it up and put it on the wrong...
Oh, no, but it's not your fault, though, because YouTube are just strange and
Yeah.
they don't always show all the comments to everybody.
I know, it's odd, isn't it? And it's annoying.
It is highly annoying. So I apologise right now if I do miss you. It's not intentional, of course. But yes, we are here on this Wednesday evening. What's the date today anyway?
15th.
The 15th.
Battle of Britain Day.
Of September. Oh, yes, of course. You did say, didn't you?
I mentioned it once.
You did once or twice or a lot.
Soggy about it.
That's right. So, first on this list here, I have Station Master's Choice.
Hello.
And Colonel Craig Ratty.
Hello.
Tracy Murphy.
Good evening.
John B.
Nice to see you.
Paul Cockerell.
Yay.
Andy the Collector.
Fantastic.
Paul Smith.
I want to know what Andy the Collector collects, by the way. At some
I don't
point
know.
we'll have to...
Does he collect coasters?
Oh, yeah. Coasters are good. I'd like a collection. Sorry, who was the one after Andy the Collector?
Paul Smith.
Paul Smith, hello.
Who says, didn't know it was BOB Day. Not heard anything about it on the news today.
Yeah, it is B Day. That's right. What? B Day?
BOB, Battle of Britain.
Oh, sorry.
Bob.
I thought you meant had to,
Bob.
sit on the thing that squirts water up your bum. The B Day.
No, that's not B Day.
Oh, no, not B Day. B.O.B. Day.
Spelled differently too.
Yeah, probably.
Bidet.
Oh, yes.
That's how it's spelt.
She's a nice girl, isn't she, Bidette?
I don't know, never met her.
She's like the other one who owes a lot of money. Bernadette.
Bernadette.
Ta-dum, boom, hey.
Ta-doom.
Anyway, go back to the...
Right toe, yeah.
Right. What's the matter with your right toe?
Nothing's wrong with my right toe.
No, till I
It'll
stamp
be up
it.
your
Yeah.
in a minute.
Thanks. Promises.
Oh dear. Yeah, Paul Smith. So Michael White is here.
Hello.
Run them over and make them extinct. Oh, the Extinction Rebellion.
Yes.
Yeah, funny. I didn't hear about that on at all.
Yeah,
I
no,
haven't heard about that.
M25 nightmare. Always is. I mean, I don't suppose anybody really noticed. They just thought it was a bit of a, normal day.
M25 is a bit of a car park anyway,
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Graham Whittington Lens Art says, Richard Vobes, did you see my photo I posted as my tribute to the brave airmen? I did, because I actually okayed it into the group on Facebook.
Oh, is it on Facebook?
I'll show it to him after the show.
Yeah, do, because I'm rubbish at...
He doesn't really go on Facebook except to share his videos.
Yeah, I share my videos and I get the hell off it. And because I do feel bad about it, because I've got a group on there. I'm going to see if we can find it and show it.
That's what the SMT do.
Yeah, that's...
Namely, myself, Matthew, and Judith.
Oh, here we go. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you don't mind if I share this just on the thing. Oh, I did have it. And
I'm sure he doesn't mind.
Here we go. This is the lovely picture. Look at that. Fantastic. Graham Whittington Lens Art. Isn't that brilliant? In tribute to. And there's, I don't know what the modern version of it is. Is that a Typhoon, is it? Next to, presumably that's a Spitfire. Anytime you see those planes, the Spitfire, the Spitfire, often I think people mistake Hurricanes for Spitfires, because Hurricanes were pretty much the workhorse.
Hurricanes are bigger though, aren't they? Much bigger.
No.
Are they not?
No, it's similar size. Very similar.
Oh no, I was thinking of a Lancaster.
Yeah, Lancasters are bigger. Yeah, especially Bert. Bert Lancaster. Anyway, back to the lovely Julia.
Anywho.
Thank you, Graham, for letting us show that, by the way. I don't know whether he may not
wait for an answer, but
Yeah.
there we go. Who else have we got here? Simon, who says, language, Richard. Yes, I actually thought that in my head when you said that.
When
I can't
I said
remember
what?
what word you said
Yeah,
now.
I said something nasty.
Oh, you said the P one.
P?
Yeah, as in peed off.
Oh, peed off. I beg your pardon.
Anywho.
Anywho.
Mr. Mockey's in the house. They are a bunch of loonies.
Yes, they certainly are.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because I'm all, I'm all for saving the planet. Well, it's not really the planet that needs saving. It's us and our stability on this planet. It's humanity that needs saving.
But that's what we're doing on this show. This is what we do. We're saving the humanity by bringing people a bit of light relief from the stresses of work.
Anyway, because quite frankly, the planet's just going to keep on turning no matter what we do.
Yeah, hopefully.
Until its inevitable demise.
Yes.
In many thousands of hundreds
of
millennia.
millions of
Anyway,
go.
Back to the point. But I don't agree with all these stupid things. Like, didn't they?
They did many times. Sorry.
Shh. Didn't they destroy?
She's getting a bit feisty, this one. I'm gonna have to get a.
Oh my God! You just keep interrupting. I'm going to go downstairs, fetch a frying pan, and wallop you around the head with it. We're going to be a proper Punch and Judy in a minute.
Oh,
right.
Yes.
Give me airspace.
Yes.
Now I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, good.
You bar steward. Bar steward.
Yes. Could I have a drink, please?
No.
Oh, fair
You can
dues.
sit and get thirsty.
Oh, all right.
Right, okay, well, I'll carry on with this.
Yeah,
then.
you carry on.
I think I said sensible, Paul, but I see you again.
Yeah.
You can always do what they did with the Olympics in 2020.
What did they do?
Oh, do your Battle of Britain series next year in...
Well, they did it a year late, didn't they?
Yeah.
But I would have to do the Battle of Britain tribute sort of thing a year late, which would be this year, which is now nearly over, because it was 2020 that was 80 years that I was thinking of. So it'll be 82 years. I could do it next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then there'll be other things during the Second World War that people will be commemorating. And it really foxed me when they were doing VE night. And they're going, oh, yeah, it's 75 years since VE, the end of the war. And I was thinking, well, yeah, but it's 80 years of the Battle of Britain. And to me, the Battle of Britain was more important than the end of the war. Anyway. On you go.
On y va.
On y va.
Joanna Jones is in the house. She also says language, Timothy.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Tall Podge Rog, hello.
Hello.
I think I said John B. I'll say you again just in case. Hi, John B.
Hi, John B.
Floating our boat. There we go. Got I can see your comment there. They are in the house. Hi. Kerry Baldwin. I don't believe in the crisis, but I do believe houses in this country are built on the cheap and should be better insulated for many reasons. Yeah, this is why I'm fascinated and I love the idea of earthships. And I would love to build myself an earthship one day. It's basically an eco home made out of predominantly discarded items like old tyres and bottles and cans and things and mud and glass. It's basically got a greenhouse at the front. It's all half buried at the back, so it conserves heat or keeps cool the building on the inside. And you grow plants in there. The water system's all, you gather water and you purify it yourself. You have a grade system. Anyway, it's all worked out. Oh, and solar panels and a wind turbine. It just I would love that. That's my ideal. But the whole point of the Earthship is that you sustain yourself. It's
Why is it called a ship?
Because it's self-sustained.
Oh,
it's
okay.
self-contained.
It's not floating on water or anything.
No, it's
like
not contained. No, it's not.
Not like floating our boat, who are floating on water.
Oh, yes, they are.
And self-contained. Just to pick up on Kerry's point about she thinks that houses should be better insulated. Now, I sort of tend to disagree with that because I don't like the idea of having the air that is in your house, stuck in. You warm the air up and then you're breathing the same air. I mean, if we've not learnt something about this COVID thing, it's about open your windows and let airflow go through. You don't have that problem in my house. There's wind coming down the chimneys. There's wind coming round the windows because they don't properly close. There's wind coming through the doors because there's holes in them. And the roof, as you know, leaks. So I get plenty of air in here.
This is another thing I like about the Earthships is that they've got natural vents in them. If it gets too warm, you can just open certain vents and it just circulates the air. And you're getting fresh air. There's no it's done naturally.
Fresh air as opposed to stale air.
Yeah.
Stale warm, just because you've warmed it up and you mustn't, you've got to have double, triple glazed windows and so that you can't get rid of the air, I think is potentially dangerous, isn't it? Because we're going to end up breathing in all that carbon dioxide that everybody tells us is a terrible thing. Of course, it is actually, we are carbon-based life forms and we need carbon, but, let's not go down that road. And so that was my only thing, but anyway, I'll let you go back onto the doodah.
I will get through this roll call, I promise. Daniel Watkins, hi Rog.
Hi Rog.
Hi Daniel.
Hi Daniel, Rog.
Yeah, because he said hi Rog.
Oh right, hi Rog.
Repeating his comment without thinking, because I don't have a brain cell. The G Monster, hello. My better half does the Extinction Rebellion thingy, dresses in red with a Harley Quinn face. Cool.
Well, that's what floats.
No, that will float your boat. No, I mean I'm a firm believer in free will and you do what's true to you, and so long as it harms nobody.
People can do whatever they like. If they want to dress up in a clown costume and tiptoe across the mountains, that's entirely up to them. But when it impedes other people and you're forcing your opinion, the thing is, I can have an opinion on here and you can all turn off, which tends to happen quite a lot. But that's fine. But if you sit in front of the M25 or you block the roads in London or whatever the thing is, you're preventing people from going about their business. I just think that's wrong. I just think that's totally and utterly wrong. It should not be. And the police should have the guts to say, well, okay, you've got the right to protest, but not stop people from doing their thing. People will it will backfire. And I think it will backfire.
How do you do this turning off thingy? I don't know. Didn't know you could do that.
No, it's something I'll show you in about 25 years' time, how you turn it off.
Oh no, I'm trapped in the Vobosphere. What am I going to do?
You're stuck here, mate.
It looks like it.
Any more?
Yes, there's loads more. I just haven't got through them yet.
Yeah.
The G-Monster, Mark Burgess, Mr. Mocky, who else have we got? Rectory Wall Garden Raw Footage.
It's a nice name.
Yeah, what's the URL for her blog? Whose blog?
Don't know.
Anyways, Dean M. Cooper is in the house.
Hello, Dean.
Colonel Crag Ratty. Hello.
Hello.
Sean Buttermar. Joanna Jones. John F. I think I said John. Yeah, I did say John B. Elaine Whitelock.
Hello.
Robert Brailsford.
Nice to see you.
I'm looking for new names there. Michael White is in the house.
Good stuff. I'm very pleased.
I can't do this thing where you constantly talk and just fill the air with words. Not like Richard does. Audrey Forbes Hampton. So are we to lay the horrors of the Holocaust at the feet of all German people and not the Nazi extremists? Good point. No, we wouldn't do that, would we? Because that would be silly.
No, but I don't think Ray was saying that. He was saying Germany as a country were the people who did the invading, and the Nazi Party instigated. But Germany, it was not necessarily individual German people who were all part of it. I don't think Ray was meaning that, but It's just, I think it was differentiating between the democratically elected party, which were called the Nazi Party, and the people of Germany, so that if Boris Johnson had armed all of us and we had to go into France and beat up all the migrants, for example, before they got on their narrowboats, not narrowboats, they're rubber dinghies, you would say it was the English. You wouldn't necessarily say, I mean, instigated by Johnson and the Conservatives, you could say, but you would say, oh, the English are coming over doing it, because it's plainly the English, it's not the Japanese. Although these days it's very difficult, because you could have an army who are people in England, and they might be some people who are Japanese as part of that, and then it, you know, in the old days we used to know who was who. You know, you came from that country, it was easy to identify. Now you just have people, you know. People used to wear uniforms, didn't they? You remember back in the days of Waterloo when people wore uniforms, and you go, oh yes, you're the actual army people, and you're the spectators on the hill having a picnic watching, and that's the enemy. Now, with guerrilla tactics and things like that, you never quite know who the enemy is. It's like they all look like you. It's sort of, they've lost the plot. It's much better if people could just dress up as how they're supposed to dress up. So all the nasty people dress up in the obviously nasty, like in the movies. Just stick to the movie. All henchmen dress up so you can look at it and go, yeah, you're definitely a henchman. And all nice. The Westerns, they all used to wear black hats if they were the villains, apart from Clint Eastwood. And then all the goodies would wear lighter ones. And you'd know who the goodies are and who the baddies are. But it doesn't happen in real life. Sorry, interrupted you rather too long.
Yeah. Rectory Wall Garden Raw Footage is asking for the URL of Georgie's blog. Yeah. If you would like to put that in
yes, certainly. I'll go and find it and post it in a second.
Yes. We also have the Veg Grow podcast here.
Hello,
Richard. Paul Cockerill. Don't know if I said you before. Trev's Travels by Narrowboat is here.
Oh, marvellous.
Lisa L, who meant Extinction. I think she meant she.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Simon, Dean M. Cooper said you. I think I've said everyone that's here, really. So... Cool. Can I come? I was going to say, can I come back over there? But I haven't actually sat next to you yet.
You can. I'm sorry. I'm just looking for my daughter's. Keep talking.
I'm just double checking here. He drove his rolls into the swimming pool of his house on St Anne's Hill. Used to drink in Gold Grove. Who's that? I wonder who. Oh, Keith Moon used to live in Chertsey, apparently. Didn't know that.
I don't know why, but not all my messages are coming up on Facebook. There's a whole load that are not here, and I messaged Georgie on Facebook, and sorry, I'm trying to find.
Are you on your personal or your?
Yeah, no, I'm on the thing, but it's got some of the messages, and then there's a whole load missing. I can't tell you what it is. The link isn't here.
Very strange. Very, very strange.
I might be able to find it somewhere else.
Anna Jones, I just got you at the end there. Sorry, darling. And Henry V. Agincourt. I'll try again. Henry V. Agincourt says, and me. Sorry, guys. Not meant to. Right.
Yeah. Are you going to come back?
Yeah, I'll come back.
Fantastic. That would be great.
Come over in the first place.
Yes. Sorry. Oh, I found it.
Found it? Good.
Yeah,
Put it in.
I found it. I've got it. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to just copy and... I will if I can just get it off the thing. Don't forget to bring your microphone. I need to change your microphone to that microphone. And there we are. We're back to some sort of normality. Copy that. And okay, I'm going to paste up the... this is my daughter's blog. And you can check it all out. I think... Hang on. Just trying to type it in. Yeah, there we go. Please don't send her any abuse. Because I don't think she knows that it's live yet. It's up. It's on the internet, so people can look it up. So
look after dear Georgie.
Yes, look after my lovely dear Georgie. So anyway, here we are on the show now. On tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about Extinction... we've done that. We've done that one as well. Mark Burgess has sent in some train photography. He's been out looking at more trains. And lovely Bernie has a video about Tillingham, I think, on his second adventure, which is going to be very, very exciting. So, shall we break for a moment and look at a bit of Mark Burgess? He was here. He was here.
He was here. He didn't actually come up to the studio.
No, he didn't come out into the studio, but he's been on the pier. He had a comedy. He knotted his handkerchief and he rolled up his trousers. He went paddling in the sea. He swam with the dolphins. It was great. We have a lot of dolphins here. Well, I say that. I mean, they're dolls with fins. Dolphins. They're the fins that... Anyway.
That's not even British.
Is that not? Is that real straining to be funny joke?
Yeah.
That's my more normal modus operandi.
No, it's not. It's usually better than that.
Oh, thanks. Usually.
A bit.
So this is from lovely Mark Burgess. I hope I've got them in the right order. There's two videos. We'll watch the second one a little bit later on, where he's out and about filming trains. We've seen some of these before, and they went down extremely well.
Morning everyone, just doing some train photography today. Missed the first one, unfortunately, but this is the second train of the day in the other direction, so we'll see what pops across the level crossing. Number 9, Winston Churchill.
So I think maybe, Mark, you forgot to turn the camera off at the end there. As soon as your hand came in, I thought, hello, something a bit fishy going on there. But lovely to see the train chuffing by, and of course the sound of that train chuffing by is just something delightful, isn't it? We do like that. Thank you very much for sending it. And we got another one to have a look at this evening, a little bit later on. So that's all good. Nice pavement, says Sensible Paul.
Mark Burgess says, whoops, boring pavement shots.
There's always good fun. Station Master's Choice says the Romney Hythe and Dymchurch Railway have had to shell out huge sums of money to install crossings, all because a couple of drivers couldn't be bothered to do what they should have done and killed 2 train drivers. I'm sorry? That didn't make much sense. Did you?
Should have done. They obviously accidentally killed 2 train drivers by
Oh, I see.
being on the
They
tracks when
couldn't
they
be
were coming
bothered
through.
to
I
do
guess.
what they... And, no, the way he writ that is like...
I know the
what
way
they're
he
supposed
wrote-
to do
I
is
know
to
the way- I
kill
know the-
train drivers.
I know the way he came out.
Yeah.
The way it came out, but that's obviously not what he meant.
No, I'm clear. I'm sure. I'm
Yes.
sure you didn't mean that, Bernie. The Romney Highs and Dymchurch, part of their natural policy, what you're supposed to do is make sure you kill the train drivers. Why is that? Well, we've got so many people who want to be a train driver, they see we have to get through them very quickly. So after about 5 years, you automatically have an accident and they fall off the edge of the cliffs. Are there cliffs down there? I don't think there are cliffs down at Romney Highs and Dymchurch. I think it's sort of a bit at sea level, isn't it? They disobey the rules of the crossing, says Station Master Stewart. Oh, they're not designed to go out and kill each other. It'd be lovely to have train duels, wouldn't it? One going one way, with trains with lances. Is it? No, what are they called when they're on those horses with those long javelins? Is that a lance?
Tournament.
Yeah.
No.
What do you call that thing?
Tournament.
Yes, but what's that?
Jousting.
Jousting with a... Is it a joust? Yes, it's a joust, isn't it? Yes. Train jousting. That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? I mean, it'd take a while. You'd have to have turntables, only on the
It'd be
engines.
big and messy and horrible and be lots of screechy sounds of metal and...
Well, no, because the trains... No,
Speaking of joust...
the trains are on the tracks.
Yeah, I know they're opposite tracks, but
Yes.
still, if the contact, it's going to cause a lot of...
Oh, you wouldn't hit the engine. It's like you wouldn't hit the horse, would you?
No, but it
No.
can happen.
Yes, I know, but that wouldn't be the purpose of it. You're just trying to knock the person...
Speaking of jousting, I'd love to go visit and see some actual jousting.
Yeah, well, this is what we could do. We could do some
they
train
do- they do
jousting.
No,
Well,
I mean
don't
with
see what's wrong
horses.
with it. Yes, with horses. Well, you
Yes,
could put a
proper
horse on a
jousting.
train. I'm sure they have horse boxes.
Arundel do some lovely reenactment jousting,
Where
and
did
actually
they
so
put
do
the
Warwick
trains
Castle.
in Arundel.
Eh.
Yeah. Oh, there is a station,
Excuse me,
actually.
what was
in
that?
it. Oh. Yes, sorry, go on.
That's your joust.
Yes. I don't do blood, says John B.
No, I don't like blood
No,
either.
I've had all the blood taken out of me. I'm bloodless now. So I just every night a vampire comes in and sucks it out for me. It's a nice little arrangement. And after a few weeks, he goes on a diet, and then I have to get another one in. Batty.
Absolutely, you are.
Yes, totally, absolutely. Oh, I tell you what, hanging upside
Start
down.
raving.
If you had a tap on your head like that, and you hung upside down, you could turn the tap on, and you could just let it all wash out, couldn't you?
What, blood?
Yeah.
Anyways, let's stop talking about blood before I actually pass out.
What isn't it funny though? Talking
No,
about...
it's not funny. Blood is not funny. It stays in the veins, please.
I know, but isn't it that what I mean is it's weird that you can talk about blood and it's one of the most important things that your body has, that it pumps around the oxygen and all the nutrients and everything else and keeps you alive. And yet when what you talk about can make some people go weak. So it's quite extraordinary, I suppose, because of what it does and how important it is. The fact that you could lose it all. Some people do faint at the sight of blood, don't they?
Yes.
I mean, I don't like a lot of it,
No, I don't.
and I don't have meat with blood hanging out. Now you will
But
eat
that's the
meat.
thing. I can eat bloody meat.
Are you allowed to say bloody meat? Isn't that swearing? I was told
No,
off for
not
saying
not
bloody.
if it's in context.
Oh, I see.
Surely.
Yes, surely.
Surely.
Yeah, so you can eat it, and I
Which
can't
is
eat
weird
it
because I'm,
rare.
'cause
raw.
on the inside, I have got slightly the brain of a vegan, as in, I don't want any harm to come to the animals, and yet, I would love to put myself to the test one day. If I could actually slaughter the animal, then I can continue eating meat. But if I can't, then I have to not. But that's,
And on that morning, can I give you a nice bacon sandwich?
yes, before I go and kill my cow.
Yeah, your pig. You get hold
Poor
of the pig
pig.
and squeal its little neck.
Yes.
Only if it gets have a go at you. I mean, that would be
What?
fair, wouldn't it? If you were going to slaughter a cow, and it's like, okay, you get a go on the cow, and you've got to try and slaughter it, and then the cow has a go at you.
Yeah, I mean that's fair play. They can,
Smack you around the face with their udders.
Anywho, I was looking for because someone suggested There we go. Yes, Mr. Mocky said narrowboat jousting with barge poles, and floating our boat also said, how about narrowboat jousting?
Narrowboat jousting, that would be fun to see. I mean,
Yeah,
it would be
you'd
a
have to get-
slow sport.
You'd have to make the jousting poles out of like balsa wood or something, so that on contact they splinter and break rather than damage anyone or anything.
Yes, but again, the idea is you don't damage the boat. You're trying to knock the person.
Yeah, that's why.
Off the perch. You could have somebody. Say you've got a narrowboat.
Yes, but if it's a balsa wood thingy, then it can still do its job. But if it hits anything solid, instead of breaking,
You could have a big,
break up.
like
Does that make sense? I
you know,
think it
big,
makes sense.
big
Does it make sense?
spongy thing, big sponge ball on the end of the barge.
Oh,
pole.
what, like the gladiators? You know?
Yeah, so there you are.
Do you remember back in the? Well, I think
80s?
it was the 90s. Was
90s,
it 80s, 90s?
I don't know. 90s. Could be.
You knew which gladiators I was on about then.
With
Not the
programme.
Roman ones.
No,
Yes.
that dreadful program where
Oh, I
you
used
had
to love it.
Panther and
Jet was my favourite.
Jet and the
Love
other
her.
ones.
Yes, and the other ones.
And the other, I can't remember anything. All I remember is gladiators ready.
But you could have those those massive. What were they called?
Hands,
No, they looked like
wings.
No, they look. Shh! Stop putting words in my mouth and just let me think of the word myself. They looked like massive cotton buds. Cotton buds that you put in your ears. You know?
Oh yes,
No.
the massive, great big.
Play jousting.
Well, that's kind of what
Narrowboat
I meant. If you had
jousting
a big spongy ball, and there you are in a narrowboat, and you have somebody on the bow of the boat,
Yeah.
in a certain like a little chair thing.
Yep.
That's
On a little like crow's nest or something.
yeah, on a little crow's nest, and so you, as you're coming in very slow. I mean, there's no reason why you would miss because you're going at 4 miles an hour, top throttle.
No, but that's going to be the amazing thing about it because you like go chug, chug,
And then they go,
chug,
"Wah!"
chug, chug.
Splosh. And then that's it, you see? And if you can knock them off. And the thing is, you could have you'd have obstacles. Obviously, you'd have Canal Bridge that you've got
Pugil
to go under.
stick. Sorry. Pugil stick's what they were called.
Pugil.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You could have a canal bridge that you've got to, go under, and you've got to knock the person off before you get to the canal bridge because they're a bit high, and if they go under the canal bridge, they get decapitated. So there'd be an element of risk.
Yeah.
Or they could climb up onto the canal bridge, or others
along
could
it
jump
and then
onto the
off.
canal bridge. So you could have pirates. That would be good, wouldn't it? To do a pirate thing where you're dressed as pirates and you come alongside at 4 miles an hour going, "Aha, Jim, my
Ahoy,
lad.
me hearties!
We're aboard in this vessel, not if I can help it." Oh, that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. And meanwhile, of course, somebody in a rowing boat is just sedately going past faster than everybody, or a coracle. Yes, you could get the people. You all jump ship into a coracle. Anyway.
Whoa. Kerry Baldwin says, my Tesco delivery this week had run out of bacon. They wanted to send me a vegan substitute. I nearly told them where to stick it. You should have.
They ran out of bacon, so they're going to give you a
Substitute with fake bacon.
meat.
Or faken, as my brother-in-law would say.
Faken. Faken. Yeah,
Fake chicken?
That is
Trickin'.
dreadful. Poor Julia can't get in edgeways. Sorry about that. Somebody said something about where can we get a barge pole sharpener, like a really big pencil sharpener. That would now. What kind of sharpener? Because a really big pencil sharpener. You've either got the one that you shove it in, you have to turn the pencil, or you've got those big machines with a great big, and that could be your barge, your windlass thing that you normally open the gates with. So you could have a pencil sharpener fixed to the gates of a lock, and as you approach the lock, it sharpens up your barge pole.
Sean James Cameron's in the house and he says, coracles at dawn.
Coracles at dawn would be... Yeah,
We
coracles
need a
at dawn
second
with
coracle.
pistols.
We need a... As
You know,
in
like
potato,
like the jousting where
as
they
in
have...
spud pistols?
No. Like flintlock pistols. Very gentlemanly. There you are, very gentlemanly, back to back.
Flintlock pistol.
Like a musket, but much shorter, where you light the fuse.
Okay.
The flintlock pistol.
Me no like a gun.
In the pistol that they would have had in the English Civil War.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
An old-fashioned... So there you are with your flintlock pistol. I
Lost
thought everybody knew
enthusiasm
that.
for the game.
And, pardon?
I just lost enthusiasm when you said guns.
No, yeah, but no, hang on,
I
you've
don't
got to hear me
know.
through.
Hearing-
So you're dressed up in your 18th or 17th century 1600s get up, and you look like Poldark.
I thought you were going to say pole dancers.
No,
What's
no.
that got to do with it?
You don't
What?
look like a pole dancer. You're dressed up
Pole
as a
dark.
gentleman
Got it. Gotcha.
from the 17th century with your flintlock pistol, and you're standing there erect, back to back, but sitting, not standing, sitting, in 2 coracles, and you have to paddle out, turn round, and fire. I think that would be hilarious.
That would be quite funny.
That would be very funny.
Until someone gets shot.
Well, no, but you'd shoot with, I don't know, a little sponge bullet or something. I mean, it's
A musket
spoof.
spud gun.
Yes, a musket spud gun. That's, yeah, do you remember spud
That
gun?
appeases my spirit.
Rectory Wall Garden Raw Footage says, I love a Greg's vegan sausage roll. Good for you. Somebody has, I suppose. I guess you can have that in your Rectory Wall garden. Quite why you would want to. Yeah, go on.
Colonel Crogratti says, I took part in a raft race on the Kennet and Avon Canal in 1973, and we were always trying to push other crews in the water. Great fun, 8-mile race, Hungerford to Newbury. That sounds awesome.
I would love to do a raft race where you build your own raft and you bring it up, and you know, firstly it's got a float, and then you're on it, and then you all go up either with the current. Presumably you go with the current, do you? If there is a current. Oh, he said on the Canal there's no current on the canal.
There is a slight current because of the lock systems. But it's not really a current though, is it?
Pedantic. Yes,
I can't help it. I like to be accurate.
I guess there is a movement of water as people, but if people don't go through the locks, it's not going to move because it's locked, isn't it?
Nerf guns.
Nerf guns.
No, I don't mind Nerf guns as long as they're not in my goddamn house.
As long as they pick them up.
I was going to say, there's bullets everywhere. Oh my God. I'll shove them somewhere in a minute.
Yes. Jesus
That's what
Christ,
I
I wasn't born. 1973. Jesus Christ. Just Christ. Sorry, not even Jesus Christ.
Neither was I. Neither was I.
Trev's Travels. What the steampunk people do, shoot each other. Yes. We did raft racing at school. Is that what got you onto narrow boating?
No, that was Colonel Crogatti said that.
No, he said, look, Trev Travels by Trawler said we did raft racing at school.
Oh, I see.
And I was asking if that's what got him onto the narrow boat.
Got you, yeah.
October, by the way. I'm hoping to catch up with Fran and Rich in October, and also Trev's Travels by narrowboat. It would be great to do that. Still keen to do my hitching the narrow boat, the canals, the navigation systems.
Yeah, you had a couple of offers, didn't you?
I did.
Can you remember who they were?
Jane somebody or other.
Oh, was it Jane Cox?
Yes.
Yes.
Does she watch the show?
I can't remember if she doesn't watch live on the Vobes show, but she does watch the Bold Explorer stuff.
Does anybody have Jane Cox as your viewer? If you're
yes, because I think she came across from the lovely Floating Our Boat channel.
There we are. So she's happy to take me on a hitch. I'm going to stand.
And she said she's got some friends that she could enlist as well.
So Fran and Rich, I had this idea for a video series of the Vobes, the Bold Explorer hitches the narrow boat. Ruined. Richard Vobes hitchhikes the... What do you call it?
Canal.
The Canal and Navigation System. Find a snappier title.
Canal hitchhike trip I've put here. So here's
the
the
Canal
start of the
hitchhike
list
trip.
of
That's a
people
bit
you can
better.
contact.
Yeah, Jane Cox,
have
Trevor,
offered.
Rich and Fran. It would be great to chart that. And I stand at the canal's edge like this going... with my rolled up trousers going, and the canal slowly comes in. And they just
and they see and they're like,
Yeah.
Put on the steam. The steam?
And if they don't, I just wade out anyway. Hitch on the back. And I would hitch either on with a rubber dinghy. I could have a rubber dinghy, don't I?
You could use a rubber dinghy.
I could have it on a bicycle.
Rigid inflatable boat.
This would be good. I could have it on a backpack on a bicycle, so that you.
I think it'd be funnier with a coracle though.
I know.
Around like a turtle.
Yes, I get that.
Okay,
but
sorry.
hang on. If you've got an inflatable thing, you could be on your bike. You cycle to the canal. You pump up the thing. All this time, can you give me... Yes, okay. By the time they get to you, you've pumped it up. You've got it in the water. You row out to them. You get on board. You have a glass of Shinzano. You go to wherever, an hour with them, then you get off and you're back on you unpump it, then you're back on your bike, you packed it away and you cycle to the next canal, wherever it is.
The next
person.
volunteer.
Which might be, 100 miles away on a different canal. And you go, knackered. And then you've got to pump. I just think it would be hilarious. People would watch that in their droves. Wouldn't they? That would be a YouTube
I think it'd be
smash.
hilarious, that's for sure.
Yeah, it would be fantastic. We've got
Floating Our Boat says, "You're on. We'll put a message out on the channel for you."
Yes. And I could, you see, the thing with an inflatable is I could put it in my van, I could deflate it, shove it in the van, I could drive to all the different narrowboat people and then park up the van, walk down with the inflatable, puff it up, and so that would be hilarious.
If you're going to do that, it's got to be a really comedy inflatable boat.
Yes. It
can't be just a standard inflatable boat.
No, I
don't know, like a big zebra or unicorn.
I
no, that
think
doesn't suit you.
Yeah, a dragon or something.
Yeah, a dragon. Or like a pirate ship.
Or a pirate ship. Yes, there must be. It'd be interesting.
Funny about it.
I would spend.
Or heritage.
Yes, a heritage. It could be a Viking.
Yes.
Viking longboat. Anyway, or a giant sausage, or who knows? We'll make something up. But there might even be. I mean, this is me thinking. There might be one of these companies that make inflatable things who would sponsor the event and build an inflatable something
specifically
stupid
for you.
Yeah, specifically for
You'd
me.
have to have a spare one just in case, though.
And then, well, they build two then, and so then you get a deal with the company. So if anybody knows how to do this, if anybody knows how to contact a company to get sponsorship, then we they build this thing. Say that costs them, I don't know, $5,000 or whatever, and then they say, yeah, that's great. We'll have lots of everybody, all the people. I'd go to other YouTube if they're up for it. And they would film it, and think of the publicity that would get everybody, not just me, but everybody, and the company sponsoring the thing. It would be hilarious. And you shove it in the van, you drive to the next, you get on board with Fran and Rich, and you have some of their secret gin. They get it out, nobody knows where it comes from, they gobble it up, and away you go. Trev's travels, you go across the Pont Casalti Bridge, he throws you off, says, go on. Does it work as a helicopter or a glider? It'd be a laugh.
Mm-hmm. David Vad says, do a Stan Laurel in Way Out West when he stopped the stagecoach by rolling up his trouser leg.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That would be hilarious. That's a brilliant film, Way Out West. On the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, on the track. Of course, the best scene in that is where they're after the deed and everybody's being tickled and all of that. It's hilarious. You've got to watch it.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you must.
I must.
It's the funniest thing you've ever seen. Nobody knows where I keep my gin, says Floating. You said that last time. I know, but I'm sure if I bring my tickle stick, we'll get it out of you. Mr. Vobes
that sounds weird.
Would be like Mr. Bean. Yeah, that's right. I mean, it would be a bit of a comedy thing, but it would be funny. Do you think it's time for...
another video?
Yes, I know where you're going.
Oh.
Yes, I know what she's going to do.
Busted.
She's been shopped. Here she goes, yes. She's gone to get the Orgasmatron.
Oh, too far.
Too far. Here
Sorry
we go.
about it.
It's not rude if you didn't know what Orgasmatron is.
It doesn't work on that one.
No.
Try it on this one.
Oh, it does work on my head. On my bald head. Don't stop. Oh, why is a head so sensitive to being tickled like that? I mean, it's who needs any other weapon other than...
I ain't touched it yet.
I know, it's the anticipation. It's that thing when you've got a kid and you tickle them and then in the end you don't even have to tickle.
I used to do that with my little brother. It was funny.
No, it's actually, when you do that, it's... No, just stick it on, like... You know that at any minute it could move and you're on a sort of like your nerves are sort of racked up.
Yeah. I hit him with my tickle stick.
Shall we watch a bit of Bernie?
Yes, let's watch Birdie.
Station Master's Choice. Let's go in there, find out where he is and what he's up to. Let's have some serious stuff for
Serious
change.
stuff.
Now here on the A28 now, probably the only really major road that the Tillingham passes under. and I'm on what is known as the Arnold Bridge. Now, what did I tell you about the Tillingham being a tiny little river? Here we are on what, our fourth bridge, and there it is, down there. Tiny little thing, isn't it? That's a noisy cockerel in the background. We are on the main Hastings to Kent roads. Broad Oak Breed and Hastings that way. And also, if you buy your eggs in the supermarket and you buy your eggs from Hode's Farm, that cockerel gives you a clue that over the back there is Hode's Farm, where those eggs come from. Otherwise you have Northiam that way, but that's still a mile and a half or more away and is really too far away to justify a visit as part of the Bridges of Rye. It's just not close enough, I'm afraid. Can you hear that goose? They must sell goose eggs there as well. And here is the Tillingham on this side. I suppose I should know really at my age, but I'm wondering if that's a gander. Never had any, see, I've got a phobia about birds, so I don't have anything much to do with them if I can avoid it. So I'm now standing here wondering to myself, do the ganders who have their gooses with them, hens, whatever you call them, do they do the same thing in the morning as the cockerels do? He's certainly having a go, isn't he? Well, with that, and there's a cow in the field behind, and the crow up there, it's all beginning to come alive, isn't it? Now, there are two properties. They're listed cottages. They date back to about the 16th century. Unfortunately, I don't have access to them. I think we can just about see one through there. But that's about the best we can do. And that is the Arnold Bridge over the River Tillingham. There we are.
And there it is, the River Tillingham. Thank you so much, Bernie. Fantastic to see it, and interesting how the magic zoom went through the hazel down into the stream. I was imagining then it was going to go underneath and we'd see all the fishes swimming around.
Another fine vid you got us into there.
Yeah, it's another fine vid you've got us into. Ah, what was I doing? So yes, so there we are. She's got the orgasmatron to hand, and the microphones have been hijacked, as you can see.
Yep.
We can't see you. Yeah.
Low.
This little
There we go.
This little woman's put her weight onto the microphone and made it shrink.
Didn't even have to touch you with that.
No. Look, I'm quivering. No, please spare me. Spare me. So there we are. Yes, right. Moving swiftly on, we have another video from Mark Burgess, which we're going to watch fairly shortly. If anyone wants to give us a ring, 07934746790 is the time to ring. A question for you from the Bald Explorer. Those of you who do, are you enjoying, I'm just curious because it's going to take a while for me to get bedded in, the new format, the longer format of videos. Be interested to know. Had lots of very nice comments on the videos. There's another one that's going out tomorrow at 6 o'clock in which the lovely Julia and I head to a place called Stoughton.
Stoughton. I think it's Stoughton.
Yes, something like that.
That's how I pronounce it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And there's a bit more drone flying and even a drone crash. But I don't want to give the game away. But
No,
it was
don't give spoilers.
No, I'm not going to give spoilers. But it was my tribute to the Battle of Britain.
Yeah, you say that now.
I say that now because all these German drones came over and attacked my little plucky British one as it was trying to get up there, and it was shot down. Colonel Cragressi says the longer formats are great. Keep up with them. Thank you
Paul
very much.
Cockerell says I prefer the longer format now.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people saying it's great.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, Kerry Baldwin
In
says,
various
yes,
ways.
very much. Please keep them up. It's just slightly concerned because I know these are more, they're sort of integrating a whole load of aspects to it. So they're not just about the one place.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a lot less effort for you to film, isn't it? Because you're just filming as you go.
yes.
But it's slightly harder.
There's a bit of
slightly more-
lifestyle in there, and
Yeah.
the people I meet, and the friends, and the living alone bit, and living at home
Yeah.
on my own.
So you're almost
with no
constantly
friends or anybody coming around.
So you're almost
Knock on the door.
constantly creating the video footage, but then it's the actual edit time that's taking you longer now, isn't it?
It takes a lot because I'm trying to make them more interesting. And the thing is, you see, I've been watching some of the more successful channels, shall we say, and theirs are generally longer, better edited, beautiful photography, and I think people like to sit down and spend a bit of time getting to know you,
Getting to know all
about you. So expect some singing in. No, don't expect any singing. So that's really where I'm trying to pitch because I've done 4 years of daily videos and one just needs a change really.
Yeah.
So that's all good.
Well, VegGo Podcast says longer format has my seal of approval.
Thank you very much.
Oh yeah. More people
I
coming.
save. I've just read it and I've lost it. Simon says I save video for the morning to watch. Excellent. The Roland's Castle borderland made sense. You were exploring and not worrying about whether you know the history. Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. It's really about my journey,
Yeah.
and then when you're in it, it's our journey, and when somebody else is in it, it's their journey, and then I'm no longer in it.
And I've really been enjoying the voiceover.
And yeah, the
I love your
voiceover-
voiceover voice.
There's, I think that it just adds another dimension really, and
Also, you can put in details that you don't know when you're there.
yeah, I mean that makes filming on location so much easier because if ever you've watched, I kind of got this hint from a TV thing, and I'm sure many programs watch it, but if ever you've watched the walks with Julia Bradbury, she would do these walks, and at the time I thought it was a right old cop out. They would. Oh, sorry, I thought it was a phone call coming in. She would go for a walk along. She did canal walks or something, didn't she? She
Yeah.
walked and what have you. And then she would bump into people and chat to them. Well, obviously that was all arranged. But she would always sort of talk about the place to camera, what her immediate reactions were. So if she was walking past a castle, it's a lovely castle, look how big it is, it's got lovely doors and look at the slitted windows and what have you. Then the voiceover had all the research, had time to go, what bloody castle is it? Oh yes, it's the Somerset Castle. Carnarvon Castle was a Norman castle. And so they can do all the research, but when you're out filming, you don't want to remember all that rubbish or have lines.
But it's very hard to remember all that rubbish, isn't
Yeah.
it? And then even if you write it down and you've got it in your pocket, when you're spitting it out, it just looks so insincere, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
So
So I think it's much more interesting to be engaged with the location and go, look at that, isn't that nice? Cool,
Yeah.
blimey. Or that's a bit dodgy. Or
have it
"Oh,
more
gosh, there
about
was
the
nearly an accident."
experience
Yeah.
and your reactions. It's great.
And then you just, you guide the rest of them on. So thank you very much for a bit of feedback on there. Michael White says, the Battle of Britain flew over my house twice today. The Battle
Flight.
of Britain flight. Oh, I see. Flight.
Memorial flight.
Yeah, sorry, I thought he was
such.
in a time warp then. It's like, hey, it's still carried on, mate. Here, they haven't gone home. Twice today, I thought I'd gone back in time. Gosh. And Henry Agincourt says, I watched after I finished duty I enjoy the long formats. Oh, that's fantastic. I enjoy the long vids with a cuppa and a coaster, says Joanna Jones. It was very good to do that. I wish Ricky would provide coasters. It's very annoying that he doesn't. Bradbury was lovely, just saying. She was very...
Is she still around, isn't she?
I don't think she's snuffed it. But, yes, I just thought it was an interesting technique, and I sort of borrowed that, really. Everybody borrows and bits and pieces from all over, and then you make it your own. Otherwise, musicians would never be able to compose. If nobody used those 8 notes...
Yeah, very little is original anymore.
Never really see Julia Bradbury anymore, sadly. Maybe on repeat. She put all her repeat fees.
I can't think what she looks like. I'll look her up in a bit.
Yeah, she's a thin woman who walked a lot. She used to do Crime Watch. I don't know whether she still does Crime Watch. I mean, it's a very odd thing. Julia is on IG a lot.
Instagram.
Oh, Instagram.
I think that's what IG means.
Oh, okay. Oh, IG Instagram. Oh, that's Instantgram, as I like to call
Instagram.
it. Tracy Murphy is brilliant, so entertaining, a breath of fresh air. And that's it. Julia Bradbury is still around. Station Master.
Good name.
Good name, yeah, the first bit is. Station Master's Choice says, it's certainly hard trying to remember what you've learnt and then putting it into a video spontaneously as part of the commentary as I walk round. Absolutely, that does make sense.
Perfect sense.
And the great thing is, in one of my videos recently, I speculated about something and I was totally wrong, and I was able to take the mickey out of myself in the voiceover by going, wrong! Actually, that avenue of trees were planted in 1554. Funny thing is, now that is burnt into my memory because I've written it down and had to read it in the thing.
Yeah.
So
it just adds a whole nother layer, and it's I love it. I'm really enjoying the longer formats, I'm even really enjoying the ones I've seen myself in as well.
Yeah, and the other thing is, it's lovely when other people are in it. Because you can, I can relax a bit. People have a bit of a break from me, which I think is good. And it's nice, and I can do a bit of filming around the other person.
That's another thing. I'm enjoying seeing other people. You pass the camera to other people and getting another perspective.
Yeah, getting other
even if
people
it's wobbly, just
it doesn't.
I love it.
It doesn't matter. So I think that it really works well, and the more we can do that, and of course we're starting to fly the drone a bit more, which adds a different perspective. I don't want to do you don't want to swamp it with drones.
No. But we might get a little bit swamped with drones because we're getting into it at the moment, aren't we?
And Julia is really good.
Thank
Julia
you.
Bradbury.
Stop blowing smoke up my bum.
No, I was talking about Julia Bradbury. She's really good.
Yeah.
She's really good at what she does. But Julia...
Steward. What?
Steward?
Bar.
Oh, Bar Steward. Julia Bar Steward. No, Julia is brilliant on the drone. And it's because you do that, you use alternative thumbs.
About 10 years ago.
Disposable thumbs. What are they called?
Opposable.
Oh, yeah.
Because they oppose the rest of your fingers.
Oh, I see. Is that what it is?
I think that's how I think of it.
Oh, right.
About 10 years ago, I was given a little mini indoor helicopter for a birthday or Christmas or something. So I used to practice and play with that. So the kind of, the idea is already there.
And you do a bit of gaming where you have to have
yes.
Hand coordination. I have trouble with
World of Warcraft addict. I'm not playing at the moment. I haven't played World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah, it's a game, isn't it? I've
it's a
really
game. It's a first-person
idea
game. It's a fantasy game.
Fantasy game. Fancy playing that.
Yeah, well, I was a warrior and I was so strong and hard, and I'd keep the attention of the bad guys while all my friends would beat the poop out of the enemy. Anyway, moving swiftly on. But yeah, so that's where my hand-eye thing comes from. But I think I'm not as good as you're saying I am. I think you're just completely
You have the
nice.
biggest advantage you have over me is you have two eyes. Yeah, and
Yes.
you might think, I drive, and I'm a safe driver driving on the road, but in the air, I don't drive in the air. In the air,
it's a whole other dimension because you've got
three
all directions.
Yeah. And it's all right when it's about, 30, 40, 50 feet. That's fine. When it starts to creep up to 30 meters, whatever, like 100 feet, whatever the thing is where you fly off or go into the distance, I can't judge then, and you start to go, is it coming towards me? Is it going away from me? Which side is it? I can't really tell. And it's amazing how the two eyes are able to do that range finding thing.
World of Warcraft is third person. Well, hang on a minute. How is it first person if you're playing the game from the perspective of your character? That's first person, isn't it?
I would have said so. It depends what you call third person. Who's third person? Is third person where you see the two players and their men represented as the people, or men and women, avatars.
Right. Anyway,
and first person is where you are looking as if it's you.
Yeah.
Is that first person?
Yeah. That's what I thought.
I don't play games because I used to. I did have a go when my kids were small. I played a game called Half-Life. Never could understand why it was called Half-Life because, I mean, were you supposed to be half dead or something? Anyway.
And Warcraft was third person because you were like the god person up there and you directed everything.
Yeah, maybe that's what he thinks you mean.
Maybe, but World of Warcraft is different.
Ah, yeah, so there we are. Third person, you see the character, says the G-Monster.
No, well,
yeah.
I played it in the character.
Yeah, you are.
So I didn't see the character, I was the character.
With one eye, it's difficult to judge distances. It is, yes, it is. I mean, it is, and it isn't. Some distances I can judge quite well. I can judge cars coming to, driving, which obviously is an important thing. Is I can judge cars coming towards me and away from me. Where it gets very tricky for me, particularly, is things that are very close. So if I used to have a sat nav that would be on a sucker on the windscreen before you had phones, a little tom-tom thing, and it would hang down like this, and every time I went to press the button, because I didn't have the other eye, I always was an inch too short. So I'd go to press it and go, where is it? Oh, I have to press a bit more. Parking, because that's quite near and it's on my left side, I always think the wall, if I'm parking next to a wall, I always think that's much closer than it is. So that's very different. So it's better that way than the other way, and thinking that the wall is further and driving into it. So it's a kind of safety net, really. So it works really well.
Out of curiosity, when you're, for example, driving your car, your van, I should say, I don't visualise it, but I kind of sense like a safety bubble around my vehicle, and if I get too close to something or someone gets too close to me, it kind of buzzes my bubble and I'm like, ugh, don't like it.
Yeah, no,
and take action.
I do. I mean, there's times when you've got cars coming towards you, and you it takes you a while to get used to the size of your vehicle, so that you go, yeah, I'm all right here. Except that I've got these little ears that pop out. Well, the wing mirrors.
Oh yeah.
And luckily on
Mine
the
do that
van,
too.
I've got a button and they can go. So when I get into like country lanes sometimes, and you're quite close to the thing, I can shut them down so they're not being banged by the bushes if you need to skim right into it. But I mean, mostly I don't see the people who I knock into ditches and things like that, to be honest with you. I mean, the speed I go and the fact that it's all on my blinds, I never see any of it. So it may be I drive terribly, but I never know about it.
I don't think you drive terribly. And I can be a bit fussy about who
Sensible
drives me
Paul
around.
says, not sure it's legal to use a camera while driving. No, it's probably quite not. I mean, you can fix them. You can fix them. I mean, people have dash cams, don't they? I think it's perfectly legal to use a dash cam, otherwise they wouldn't sell them. Richard looks like a very safe driver to me, says John. But I've not killed anybody yet.
Yet, except a pigeon. Michael White says, I bought a Japanese drone, but it kept wanting to crash into ships.
Yes, those kamikaze drones.
Oh, apparently Leonard Smith is right. World of Warcraft allows you to move focus from first or third person perspective. Oh,
right.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do remember that fact, actually.
The G-Monster says, first is Half-Life, Richard. Yes, first person. I used to play Half-Life, the original. Then they upgraded it to Half-Life 2. Never played that.
Don't think I've ever seen one.
It was a long time ago, and it was a game that absorbed more time. Hours would go, and I'd look up and go,
I'd
blimey.
say that's just games in general, isn't it?
2 hours have passed. And I think,
gave myself...
crikey, the things I could have done in those 2 hours.
I once gave myself a urinary tract infection because I did not want to get up from my desk whilst playing World of Warcraft. This was pre-children, of course. I was freshly married at the time.
So it's one good way not to see the husband, is it? Put the game on.
He was playing right next to me.
Oh, right.
That's one of the staples of our marriage, that was.
Blimey.
World of Warcraft. Can't now though, kids.
Yeah, thank God for kids, eh?
But yeah.
I played Space Invaders. Good for you. Yeah, I can't do games. I mean, making videos is time consuming enough.
Yeah, I played Space Invaders.
And doing the Vobe show. We've got to do another. We've got to go and see another video with Mark Burgess. He's gagging for us to see the next of his train photography. So let's go and see which one is passing where. There we are, all change, please. This train terminates here. Thank you very much, Mark. We've just been travelling on one of those choo-choo trains that go along the Romney Hythe and Dymchurch. And what a lovely sunset that was. And a great way to say thanks very much for watching tonight's show. We have, amazingly, the time has just vanished. And I was going to talk about Battle of Britain Day and the Extinction Rebellion people. I had all that down there.
Tick, you did.
Talk about the Canal hitchhiking trip.
Tick.
And we wanted to show some other videos as well. But, hey, you know.
Time has run out.
Time has run out. I hope that you've had a lovely show and enjoyed it this evening. Colonel Craig Rady said, I spent nearly 2 hours an evening, 3 times a week, watching a YouTube show. Don't know where the time goes.
Yes, it's a time eater, isn't it? It just sucks up your time like, gone. Where's the evening gone?
Yeah. The thing is, there is, I believe, another hour and a half that you could watch in the week. I think it's 3 nights a week. Wasn't that a bus, not a train, says Station Master's Choice. Yeah, it could have been a bus. I thought because it was trains that it was from a train, but I think we've been fooled again. Anyway, there we go. We've covered it all. Thanks so much for joining us. It's been great fun. Thanks to lovely Julia for coming in.
Thanks for having me along. Sorry I was late.
Don't worry. It's nice to see the little men up on and women up on the microphones where they belong, riding roughshod, ready for a game of microphone jousting.
Gonna get you.
That's a good way to break your microphone.
Clonk, clonk, clonk. Good way to bust everybody's eardrums.
Yes,
banging
that's
it on
true.
blinking cup.
Thank you once again. Thanks to Judith for being out there to moderate, make sure everything went okay. And thanks for Mark Burgess and Bernie for sending the videos in. It's been great. We'll see you again on Friday at the end of the week. Look after yourselves.
Royal we, it'll just be him.
Oh, it'll just be me on my own. She's not coming in. She's had enough. But never mind. Have a good time. We'll see you soon. From the lovely Julia and myself at Vobes Studios. Ta-ta now.